Hi students, Miss Doyle here. I'm the librarian over at Lakes High School, and I today am going to show you how to use Opposing Viewpoints in Context. It's one of our databases that will help you find credible articles for your research projects. And just knowing the name is Opposing Viewpoints, you can tell that this is going to be a great place for you to go, especially if you're writing a persuasive paper or giving a persuasive speech, because this database allows you to see both sides of arguments in current issues and past issues. So it allows you to not only support your own claim with evidence, but also to find information to present the counter argument. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get there from the Lakes ILC website. The web address is simply lakesilc.weebly.com. And if you click under the Research menu, Databases, it will give you the A to Z list of all of the databases you have access to here at Lakes High School. I'm going to scroll all the way down to Opposing Viewpoints in Context. Opposing Viewpoints in Context does a really great job of keeping up with current events, and on the home page it features some current news items in that picture, that banner picture, as well as in the sidebar over here. It also on the home page will give you some topic choices. This is actually a really good place to go if you're still trying to determine a topic for your research project. So if you know that you are interested in science, technology, and ethics, you could click on View All, and it would bring you to potential topic ideas under that broader topic of science, technology, and ethics, as you can see here. You also could click on where it says Browse Issues, and it will show you all categories, not just the ones under that more specific topic of science, technology, and ethics. And as you can see, there are quite a few to choose from. Okay, going back to the home page, which I can access just by clicking on the Opposing Viewpoints image in the top left-hand corner. Okay, something else, another feature that I really like about this program is the search bar. Again, if you have not decided on a more specific topic, you could simply type in a keyword in the search bar and it will help you determine possible other searches that fit in that category. So as you can see right now, ISIS is kind of a hot topic in our national news, and so I'm going to pretend for the sake of this screencast that I'm doing a project on ISIS and terrorism in general. In fact, maybe I will use the word terrorism instead. And as you can see, just like in Google, which you're probably very familiar with, it will pre-populate with other keywords and phrases that you might consider looking into for your search. For now, I'm going to just click on Search in this simple search. And Opposing Viewpoints is really nice because whenever you type in a keyword like that, it'll first present you with sort of an encyclopedia reference type article that gives you an overview and definition of that keyword. So in this case, the word is terrorism. Okay, and it just kind of breaks it down to you, much like how an encyclopedia might. But if you scroll down a little bit more, you can see that it also has pulled out different articles based on the type of content. Okay, so for example, statistics, images, reference, biographies, audio. Don't forget the value of audio recordings for your research as well. Sometimes it's a nice change of pace instead of reading all of your research. And again, news sources, primary sources, videos, etc. You also can quickly sort through the types of content. If you know that your teacher has required you to look for academic journal articles or news articles, magazine articles, you could simply click on this link and it would bring you only to the academic journals. As you can see, this number represents the total number of academic journal articles available under the keyword terrorism, which is a very broad keyword. Again, I'll be showing you how to narrow that search a little bit in Opposing Viewpoints in a second. But just know that there are 556 different academic journal articles that you can look into. These top 3 are perhaps the more relevant ones and or current ones. As you can see, these have relatively current dates. But if you click into academic journals, it will list even more. And what I like to do when I'm trying to find the best articles is I will just kind of scan through the headlines, see if there's something that relates more specifically to my topic. You can use the advanced search feature, which is always at the top bar, to fine-tune your search a little bit more and use more keywords. So for example, say that I would like to, my research is on the US and its involvement in terrorism, specifically with recent occurrences with the terrorism organization ISIS. I can type in these keywords and phrases, all 3 of them, and what I'm telling Opposing Viewpoints is I want for them to find only articles that contain all 3 of these keywords or phrases. Notice that I put United States in quotation marks. That tells the system that I want to keep that phrase together. I don't want those 2 words to be searched separately. I want for the phrase to be searched together. You also can determine if you want to see only full text documents, which appears as a check mark by default. If you want peer-reviewed journals, which is good if you're looking for mostly academic journals. You can set the publication date. So if your teacher has required that you only search for articles within the past 5 years, for example, you could say that you are looking for only articles that have been printed since January 1st, 2010. We don't want anything older than 2010. Again, you can narrow it further by deciding what specific type of content you want to search for, if you even need to search that specifically. And then once you have everything set, you hit search. And again, it brings up your search results. Notice that instead of 556 academic journals, now I only have 4, and this is a little bit more specific to my research because of those 3 keywords that I searched together instead of just that one keyword, terrorism. Now I have the 3 keywords, as you can see up here. It reminds you: terrorism, ISIS, and United States. Let's go ahead and click on this Newsweek article, which I saw was printed in September 5th, 2014, and I want to show you some functionality within Opposing Viewpoints. For one, you can see that it highlights in red the different keywords that I searched, so you can quickly scan the article to see its relevancy for you and your topic, and there's a lot of red in here, so it's looking pretty good so far. Some other functionality is you can listen to the article. You also can turn on highlighting as it reads the document.
Byline,
Oh, it does that automatically.
Sometimes terrorists are the best.
So that is an option for you. You also can download the audio recording if that's helpful for you. I'm going to close up this. You can take notes right on the document. So if I, for example, found that this statistic or this date, an event, was very important for my research, I could simply highlight the text and this box will pop up. I can click on highlight and choose a color. I'll choose purple. And then in notes, you can even type in some notes related to, it's difficult to talk and take notes at the same time, but you can even type in notes to help you remember where in your paper or where in your speech you wanted to include this information in your outline. Sort of like taking notes in the margin of articles and books that your English teachers and social studies give to you. Over here in the right-hand sidebar, you can see all different types of tools that are accessible to you. One of the more popular tools is the citation tool, because good researchers like yourselves are required to include a works cited or a reference list depending on if you're using MLA or APA style. Opposing Viewpoints offers citations for each article in both MLA or APA. And as you can see here, some of you maybe have used EasyBib before, but you can export the citation directly to EasyBib. Or you can just copy and paste it and put it into a Google Doc that you have started already for your works cited or reference list. So please keep this tool in mind. It makes citing sources very simple for you. You can email yourself the article, and what's neat about this is if you email it to yourself, it will retain all of the notes and highlights that you have included. You also can download it, print it. Like I mentioned, it will summarize all of the highlights and notes that you have made if you click on this link. You can save it, share it, or there is a translation function as well. I want to talk a little bit more about Save because Opposing Viewpoints recently introduced some new functionality related to Google, and since we're a Google school, I highly recommend that our students take advantage of this. Up here, it prompts you to sign into Opposing Viewpoints with your Google account, and I will show you why this is a good idea to do in just a moment. So here it is prompting me to sign in. I'm going to go ahead and I actually am already signed into Google on this computer, so I can skip that sign in process and it shows that I'm signed in right here as Kelly. What you can do is save this article and it lets you know that it has been added to your folder, which you can access using this More button. So here I go to my folder. If you have saved, say, 5 articles, a very neat thing that you can do is select all of the articles that you would like to download or email or print, so you can do it all at one time. And when you click on download, it asks if you want to save it into your Google Drive. So if you save it into your Google Drive, then you can access this article very easily from home or at Starbucks if you're working there or wherever. If you click on download, it is going to save this article and any others that you select right into your Google Drive. And I have my Google Drive open. What it has done is automatically created a folder called Opposing Viewpoints in Context. And if you click in there, it shows me the articles. This is one I did, oh, the gas one is one I did earlier, but it shows me the articles that I have saved from Opposing Viewpoints for this research. And then you can use all of the Google functionality that you're used to using in Google Docs. So editing, highlighting, making comments. Again, if you would prefer to maybe annotate your article in Google Docs because you're more familiar with it, now you can. You can highlight and you can add comments, much like you would have by using the notes function and Opposing Viewpoints. And you also can share the article with your group members if you're working on a group project. Opposing Viewpoints, as you can see, offers a lot of resources and tools for you to help make your research project a little easier. And don't forget that if you are using Opposing Viewpoints at home, or I'm sorry, at school, you do not need any login information. However, if you are planning to access Opposing Viewpoints from home or anywhere else off campus, you do need to access the database passwords Google Doc, which you can access through this short Google link. You will be prompted to log into your Google account in order to access this Google Doc. So thank you for listening, and please always feel free to reach out to me, Miss Doyle, in the ILC if you need help with your research and using databases. Thank you and good luck!